92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
The guy on the phone for a second date update today feels like he wasn't on his A game when he went on the date with the girl we're about to call. Her name's Abby, right, Scott?
Yep, Abby, yes.
How you doing? Thanks for emailing the show.
For sure. I really appreciate you guys hearing me out on this. Thank you.
I read your email. I liked how you initially got her number and got your dinner date. Why don't you tell everybody how you did that? That's pretty smooth.
I appreciate that. So, I'm a busy guy, so sometimes I only have a little bit of time for lunch, so I ran down to one of the lunch trucks, and I noticed a cute girl behind me on the line. And I was trying to figure out when the line was moving forward, like, oh, man, what can I say to this girl? Like, how can I initiate this conversation? So I turned around to her, and I blatantly lied to her. Actually, I said, hey, I've never been to this lunch truck before. Do you have any recommendations?
See? That's a good idea. Now,
that's A-game material right there.
But when you do that, you got to make sure you've never been there before, or they're not going to recognize you. So you're like, oh, dude, I've never been here. What's good? And then you walk up to the front. They're like, hey, Scott, how you been?
You're regular for you?
Yeah. Just get you the usual.
I'm assuming that didn't happen, right, Scott?
It didn't, fortunately. It didn't.
Yeah.
So basically, we started talking. I made her laugh a couple times. She made me laugh. I was like, oh, this girl's pretty cool. So, I get my sandwich, and we go over to the side, and I wait for her to get hers. And then as she's walking over, I say, hey, Abby, I really appreciate the lunch recommendation. Since you gave me a recommendation, I actually wanted to give you a dinner recommendation.
Oh, I see. Look at that segue.
See, that's what I was talking about. That's the part that I like.
That is smooth,
You gave me a lunch recommendation. I'm going to give you a recommendation. You come hang out with Scotty Boy for dinner.
5 stars on Yelp.
So she liked it, obviously.
She did, yeah. She shook her head, but
yeah.
she thought it was cute. So
Then where did you guys go to dinner?
we just went to a spot downtown. It's this little sushi spot that I know about, and it was awesome. But yeah, I don't know. I just felt off.
Now, well, that's what your email said, that you weren't on your A game. What does that mean? What is your A game?
I hadn't worked out that day, and so I felt a little bit off physically, like I wasn't in it, like I wasn't showcasing the full me.
Do you mean like you were tired and just kind of off mentally because you hadn't worked out, or are you talking about like your biceps weren't bulging from the pump from the gym before?
I mean, probably a little column A, a little column B,
Oh, yeah.
One leads to the other.
Did she notice that anything was off?
I don't think so. It's not like it was like leaving the conversation to go cry for a minute and come back.
But I mean,
Sounds like it.
She's also not calling you back, so she might have noticed.
No, I mean, I pride myself kind of on being a witty guy, and I just didn't feel like I was on it. I just didn't feel like I was sharp that night.
How much did you bring up your workout regimen and your muscles? Because in our conversations, it's come up a lot.
Well, I mean, I feel like it directly affects a lot of parts about me, I mean, I probably brought it up a little bit. It's a part of my life. It's something that I pride myself on. So,
Anything that was notably awkward, or anything that you said where you noticed a weird reaction from her? Or...
I mean, it wasn't anything crazy. It's funny because, we go for a walk, we look at the stars, and it'd be that moment where you'd, look at each other. And I was like, normally I'd go in and, try to get that kiss, but, it's just so, I just felt, deflated. It was really weird. So, and I'm sure there were some times where she was kind of like, oh, what's going on with this guy?
Was it that tension? It's like, okay, now's your opportunity to kiss her, but you kept passing on that?
Totally, yeah. I didn't understand it.
That's the worst.
That is.
Do you think that you guys just don't have chemistry, maybe? I mean, are you trying to make something that's not there?
I'm thinking about her. The fact that I wrote this, I wrote to you guys because, I like her. I wouldn't write to you guys for anybody. So I think it was just me. I was off. Like I said, I just got to make sure I get my workout in. So I'm really feeling on point.
How many times have you tried to get a hold of her since your date?
Sent her a couple of text messages, and she responds to them, but it takes a long time to respond.
Okay.
Normally if you're excited about something, you respond quickly.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just text. I didn't try to call her or anything like that. I don't want to weird her out.
Have you actually asked her out again, or are you just trying to make conversation and you notice that she's being a little slow?
Yeah, I would say more the latter. Because I haven't gotten that green light that she's enjoying talking to me or anything.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're gonna play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date update. Okay?
All right, that's fine. Thanks again, guys.
All right, man. Hold on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Scott, I want to let you know during that song, I was able to slam a protein shake, so I'm on my A game. This second part of your second date update is going to go great. I can feel it.
I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, no problem, bro. If anybody's tuning in right now, Scott is on the phone with us. He went out with a girl named Abby. Feels like he wasn't on his A game during the date because he didn't work out earlier in the day. And there's nothing really glaring that happened during your date that you can think of, Scott. You just felt kind of awkward about the whole
Yeah,
thing?
just a little awkward. Yeah, just a little off. I don't know what's going on with me.
I will say, I think it takes a big man to admit that he wasn't on his A game. Like, most people call in, they were like, I did everything perfect. I don't know what went wrong.
But Scott hasn't even directly asked Abby out yet. You just aren't getting the right vibe.
Yeah, exactly. You guys know how that feeling is.
All right.
I do.
Well,
We're gonna
there it is.
We're gonna give her a call right now, Scott. You ready?
Yeah.
Here we go, man.
Hello,
Hi, is Abby there?
this is her.
Abby, this is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning on Moving 92.5. How are you?
I'm sorry.
This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning on the radio station Moving 92.5.
Okay.
Abby, I'm calling you because you recently went out with a friend of the show. His name is Scott.
Okay.
And Scott really liked you and enjoyed your date, but he's kind of getting a really weird vibe from you that you don't want to see him again.
He's getting a weird vibe from me.
Yeah. Should it be the other way around?
I mean, I don't want to, throw anybody into the bus or anything, but I don't think I'm the one that's being weird.
You think that Scott is weird?
Honestly, I don't know him, so I can't say that, but...
Oh, man.
Abby, I talked to Scott about the night you went out because I was asking him about your date, and he says he feels like he wasn't on his A game. Did he seem kind of off to you?
I mean, that's what he said to me that night, so...
He told you that he wasn't on his A game?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of a weird thing to say.
Well, at least he was being honest. But how do you go from being off to being weird? Those are two totally different things.
You know, there was this one moment that I went into the bathroom and, I was gone for a couple minutes and I came back and he wasn't facing the bathroom, so his back was towards me. And I was getting closer to the table and I saw that he was kind of moving his head up and down. And I kind of thought that was weird and I went up to him and I was like, hey, what are you doing? And he was like, oh, I missed my workout, so I'm just getting in some butt clenches.
What? Some butt clutches at the
clenches?
table?
Oh, Abby, are you sure he wasn't joking?
He had to
That's
have-
so ridiculous.
Amazing.
He had to have been joking with you, Abby.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought. I thought that he was joking, so I laughed.
So he's basically working out while you're at dinner.
Right.
Yeah, that's weird. That is weird, Abby.
I mean, he's got a pretty solid body. I got to say that. He's a very attractive guy. And obviously that was one of the things that he kept wanting to talk to me about it. I eat healthy. I try to go for walks or I'll go for hikes with my girlfriends and stuff. And there was one point where he asked me, he was like, oh, what gym do you go to? And I told him I didn't go to a gym. And he started asking more questions, like, why? What's so bad about working out? And I was like, it's just not my thing, I've never been into going to the gym. And he literally goes, look, sweat dries, blood clots, bones heal, suck it up, princess.
What?
Say that again. What did he say?
Sweat dries, blood clots, bones heal, suck it up, princess.
Oh, my gosh.
So he's basically like, get in the gym.
Did you
Quit being a crybaby.
That's awful. And so condescending.
What would you say to Scott if you could talk to him right now?
No.
I would say don't be a douchebag.
Simple. Get to the point.
Okay?
I
Hey,
like that.
Scott,
Pretty much it.
Yeah.
did you hear that?
Oh, gosh.
Abby, I should probably let you know that Scott's on the phone and just heard what you said.
Everything?
Everything.
Everything.
Oh, that sounded like a wounded little puppy.
Say hi to Scott, Abby.
Hey.
So that's how you feel about me, huh? That I'm a douche. That's it?
Oh my God, this is so awkward. I didn't say douche. I don't think I called you a douche.
Yeah, you did.
Well, let me clarify. You didn't call me a douchebag. You just called me a douche.
Yeah, there was no bag in it.
Yeah, douchebag light. I guess.
Scott,
You were working out at the table.
yeah, were you actually doing that, Scott? That's kind of weird, man.
I was. I wasn't even thinking about when she went to the bathroom and I was doing those. To get a couple butt clench reps in.
Those are real?
she came and tapped me and told me, like, hey, what are you doing? And I immediately was like, oh, shoot. It's kind of like blew my cover, so I just told her what was going on. I mean, any other reason for me to be clenching my butt over and over again was probably worse.
Yeah, that's true. But, I mean, the workout thing's forgivable. What about princess?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, everybody should work out. It's not just a you thing. It's like an everybody thing. You know, like everybody needs to, feel that exhilaration. You know what I mean? Like it just really kind of sets you off every day. So, I want that for you. And when I hear that you don't want that for yourself, I'm thinking, here's a girl who wants to be like pampered and like, all right, what am I, feed you grapes? Like,
you didn't pamper me though. You wouldn't even let me order anything that I wanted to order.
Wait, he was stopping you from ordering food?
Yes.
What?
I tried to get the spicy tuna roll thingy, and you were like, oh, it's fried. You shouldn't eat fried food, so straight to your waist.
All right.
Dude, stop.
it was just a suggestion. I didn't tell you had to do it. I'm not going to walk your hand through life.
It wasn't a suggestion. You specifically said, I'm not going to pay for this and contribute to obesity in America.
Scott,
Abby! How are you
if you're
still
going
at the table?
You know what? No, I don't even appreciate this. She's blowing this up. She's getting all smoke because she's on the radio and people are laughing at her right now. There's no way I was this bad.
Abby, would you like to go out with Scott again? We will pay for a second date. We'll make sure it's on his cheat day where you can order whatever you want, and we'll tell him to make sure he goes to the gym beforehand so he's not doing exercises at the table.
I just can't, in my right mind, say yes to another date with him.
Thank God.
Oh, man.
He was awful.
I'm just not into that type of person, I'm not into that lifestyle.
Oh, yeah, that healthy lifestyle? Yeah, well, have fun living till you're 52.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
When I met you in the summer.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
You can find anything at Target. You can get towels, toiletry, groceries. You can find sad, dejected boyfriends following around their girlfriends on a Sunday afternoon.
Just defeated.
Hungover, wishing a Mack truck would drive through the wall and run them over and just end their misery. But enough about my experiences at Target.
Yeah.
You can also find a date at Target if you know how to look, and that's exactly what happened to today's second dater, Amanda, who is on the phone. Hey, Amanda, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm good.
What's up? So, how does one find a date at Target?
Actually, I wasn't expecting anything. I was in the cleaning supplies section, and this guy just kind of came up to me, and he kind of used like, "Oh, what kind of cleaning products do you use?" kind of line.
That always gets me going.
Yeah.
I know,
Hey.
man.
Yeah.
Ooh, you throw some Simple Green on me.
Uh-oh.
Hello. So you guys bonded over cleaning supplies.
Pretty much. I mean, he came up to me and was asking me what kind of cleaning products do I use for my kitchen.
How?
And that was it,
I
huh?
was like, okay, this is a pickup line, but I'll go with it because he was cute.
Oh, so it was obvious that he was just trying to make conversation.
I think so. I mean,
Okay.
who comes to the cleaning section and starts asking people what kind of products they use?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he had a real dilemma. Generic brand name.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I didn't know if maybe the two of you just thought it was so sexy to be talking about cleaning supplies that you had to go out.
How quickly did he move from cleaning supplies to let's go out on a date? Because that's got to be somewhat of an awkward transition.
No, I mean, we were talking for about maybe like 10, 15 minutes. And he's like, hey, do you want to grab some coffee? Which then coffee led into drinks. And I was like, yeah, it was actually, he was pretty smooth about it. I wasn't really awkward at all.
You get hit on a lot when you're out? Is this a normal thing for you, or
No,
was it?
I mean, sometimes I get catcalled, but, I don't get picked up at, like, Target or stores while I'm shopping.
So this was a new experience for you. If I were shopping at Target and somebody just came up and started hitting on me, I think it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So what did you guys do on your date?
We went to this cafe, and we were going to have coffee, but then we both got hungry after we were chatting for a while, so we ended up going to a restaurant, having dinner, so it ended up being like a long, nice evening.
Wow.
Which is usually a great sign if things just keep continuing. What was the best part of it for you?
I just think we were laughing a lot. We had a lot in common. We both love outdoor sports, and everything went well till the end of the date, which was just awkward.
Until the end of the date.
Oh, man.
We spent like 4 or 5 hours together, which is a really long date. Had great conversation. We're laughing, and then in the end, I kind of thought he would go in for the kiss, and instead, he stuck his hand out and shook my hand.
Oh,
That's
what?
He handshook you?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
A guy handshaking a girl is very unusual.
Awkward.
How did that whole thing, explain to me how that happened? Because there are those times where you'll go to hug someone, but then you think they might want to shake, so you kind of do like a half shake and then half hug, and it's all messed up. But was it like that, or he literally was making an effort to handshake you and not hug you?
I almost stepped in for a hug, and he immediately took his hand out, so I kind of pulled back, and then I stuck my hand out and shook his hand. But this is what's weird. He saw me at Target, so I know he's not gay.
Yeah.
He picked me up. He asked me out. So he knows what I look like. It's not like we were like online dating. He had no idea. So I just don't know what went wrong at the end of the day.
Well, after the handshake, did you guys make any plans to go out again, or did you drop hints at least?
He said, "Yeah, I'll call you. Let's go for a hike." And I was like, "Okay, sounds great."
So he even suggested the activity of going for a hike after handshake.
Right.
Weird.
Were you giving him weird signals, like maybe you weren't being very obvious that you were interested in him?
Well, no, I didn't pick up on any weird signs, and I didn't give him any bad signs. So I didn't feel that I did anything wrong, or I may have led him in the wrong direction. I just am confused.
Okay, so nothing weird happened on your date. Everything was perfectly normal, like you said. You guys were laughing, hanging out, and then at the end of it, you try to go in for a hug, and he just sticks out his hand and shakes your hand and
shook it. Yeah.
Don't write him off because of that, Amanda. He could have been nervous. He could not kiss on the first date. I mean,
but at least give me a hug.
I know, but you found a guy that cleans. Don't give up on him.
yeah, the sexiest thing ever.
Well, I have given up on hope. I mean, it's been 2 weeks since he called me, and the last thing I remember is a handshake. So.
Okay, so that was going to be my next question. It's been 2 weeks since you went out with this guy.
Yeah.
And you haven't heard a single word after your handshake.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
All right, well, we'll play a song, come back, call him, get him on the phone, and get your second date update, okay?
Thank you.
Hang on.
Baby, I'm playing on you tonight. Hunt you down each Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
You know, Amanda, I don't want you to feel bad that your date ended in a handshake. Because, I don't know if you know this, but in a lot of cultures, a handshake is even more intimate than sex. Okay, I don't know exactly what cultures that exist in, but
devout religious ones.
I just made it up right now, and it sounded good to me. So don't feel bad that the guy you want us to call today ended your date by shaking your hand and not giving you a hug or a kiss.
Okay.
If you're just tuning into the second date update, Amanda wants us to call this guy named Danny. They met at Target. He hit on her. They went out, had a good time. She can't think of anything that went wrong on the date, but it did end with him giving her a handshake. Did it seem like he didn't want to touch you, or did it seem like a handshake was just normal for him to do?
I feel like he didn't want to touch me.
You feel like he didn't want to touch you. Okay.
But he offered the hiking after that. That's what the mixed messages have to be so confusing for you.
Yeah, it is. I just think maybe he had a personal issue that I don't know about, and I'm trying not to get personal.
Maybe he's like a germaphobe.
That's
he could
true.
be. You met him in the cleaning section at Target. That's a legit, that's actually a good theory. I just surprised myself with that. That might actually work. All right, well, I'm going to dial the phone number right now, see if we can get him on the phone, and hopefully find out what went wrong on your date and why he's not calling you back, okay? All right, here we go.
Hello?
Hey, I was looking for Danny.
Yeah, this is Danny.
Danny, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Good.
I'm calling you today because you recently went out on a date with one of our listeners, and they gave us your phone number and asked us to call you.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Her name is Amanda. She emailed us and told us about how you picked her up at a Target. She thought that was a really cute move, by the way, and told us a little bit about your date, said that she really liked you, but I guess it's been like 2 weeks now, and you're not returning her phone calls.
Uh-huh.
Would you mind maybe giving us some insight into why it's been 2 weeks and you haven't called Amanda back?
I guess I just can't see myself being in a relationship with her, and that's kind of what I'm looking for.
Is it because of something she did on the date, something she said?
I mean, I didn't get to know her really well, but she was kind of gross on our date.
How is
gross.
How is she gross?
Just her manners. I'm not sure really like how she was raised, and it was kind of shocking to me.
Wow. I'm very curious now, Danny. Yeah. Because according to her, your date was perfectly normal. She didn't do anything weird. The thing that she did say was strange about your date was how you shook her hand at the end. Is that why you shook her hand? Because you thought she was gross?
Yeah, I needed an exit.
Can you give me one specific thing?
Yeah.
Was she sloppy when she was eating her food? She not put her napkin on her lap? What specifically made you think that she's nasty?
Well, it was going fine, and like halfway through the meal, she grabbed my hand and she leaned over into my ear and whispered, "I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay.
I have to honk out a dirt snake."
No, she did not say that on the first date. Are you kidding me?
You're lying about that, Danny.
That could not be real.
I swear to God.
And she
What was that term again? What was that term again?
Oh, man. She said I have to honk out a dirt snake.
Was she being funny, or was like this a legit?
That's what I thought. I thought she was making a joke, and I just said, "Are you serious?" She just said, "No, really, I have to go download a brown load. I'll be back in a few minutes."
Stop it!
She had to have been joking then.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Come on, man. Like,
I don't know one girl that would do that
way.
seriously.
she had to have been joking with you, Danny.
She was not. She left. She was gone for a few minutes. I mean, at the time, I couldn't eat. I lost my appetite. That's how serious she was being.
What did she say when she got back to the table? Like, she had to have had a smile or been laughing.
Yeah, she had a smile, and she patted her belly, and she said, "It looks like someone dropped the kids off at the pool."
With it.
She's so good.
Oh my gosh. Was your face red?
I didn't know what to say, and she just jumped right back into her meal. And after a few minutes, she noticed, and she thought I didn't like it. She asked me if I didn't like the food, and I said, I just pretended I was feeling sick.
I would have been so grossed out. Like, I've been with my girlfriend like a year and a half now, and I don't even know that she does that still.
Oh my God.
And I don't ever plan on knowing that she does that. So, all right, Danny, I can understand why that would be a turnoff for you.
Yeah, that's why I shook her hand. I needed to get out of there.
All right. Danny, thank you very much for being honest. I'm sorry you had to endure that date.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I'm sorry, too, I guess. Is that all that you guys needed today, or?
Yeah, that's just about everything. I'll let her know. Actually, why don't you let her know what the problem was on the date? Because she's actually listening and on the other line right now.
Oh.
Amanda, did you actually say those things, or is he over-exaggerating?
Yeah, I said those things.
You did?
Amanda!
What? Why?
Women do go to the bathroom, and I like to joke around a lot, and I said it in a joking manner, and I was going to be honest with him, you know?
Okay, so the lines that you used, those were jokes, but you really did have to do what you said you were doing?
Yes.
Oh,
There's truth in every joke, Jubal.
But I don't know why you're being such a stickler about it. I mean, don't you go to the bathroom?
Yes, I do, but I don't tell people like that. I mean, you could have just said, "I'm going to go to the restroom," or powder your nose, or whatever.
Yeah, say that.
What? It wasn't a joke. I had to
Amanda!
Dude, I give it up to you, girl.
Amanda, you don't care at all, huh?
I mean, honestly, do you want me to, would you rather me at the table be like, "Hey, I got to go"?
No, I don't think that's what Danny's saying.
No, you could have said, "I have to go to the bathroom." To say it that way is if, like, I'm your brother and we're hanging out, you know.
Oh.
Well, I'm just descriptive. I'm a joking kind of person, and I'm descriptive, and so I have fun.
I will say, I wish I had a little bit more Amanda in me, because I haven't even talked about poop with my husband and we've been married.
Everyone, guys, be open-minded. Everybody does it. It's a part of our human biological, systems. Like, we all go to the bathroom.
Yeah, but we stopped talking like that when we turned 14.
Amanda, you're telling me no other guy you've dated before has had a problem with this?
No, my last boyfriend, he used to come out of the bathroom and we'd high-five.
Are you serious?
I bet we're going to get a ton of people on the text board who want to go out with you for this reason alone,
Probably.
Amanda. I mean, you're blunt and you're open.
Yeah, I'm honest, guys.
Yeah, I guess you're honest. I just, it's a first date. I mean, when you go out on a first date, you're supposed to be a little more careful with what you say.
But shouldn't you know me for me? Why should I be hiding things?
Danny, you were attracted to her at one point. Couldn't you see the humor in it?
I mean, she whispered in my ear, "Dirt snake."
All right, good point. Yeah. Well, Danny, I would love to ask if you'll go on a second date with Amanda. We will pay for it.
I guess I can see where she's coming from, and it's great that she's so comfortable with herself, but I honestly can't stop thinking about Dirt Snake.
Okay, so, Amanda.
Listen, that's just me being who I am, and if he's not comfortable with it, then we're just not compatible.
Amanda, I really enjoyed meeting you, kind of, and, good luck.
Oh.
All right, no second date, Amanda. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm not sorry, guys. Because not.
Yeah.
And you know what? Thank you for letting us all today learn a new phrase in the second date update.
Seriously.
Download a brown load will now be in my vernacular permanently.
Right,
Thank
and
you.
You guys will laugh about it later on.
Yes, we will, Amanda. Man, today's second date update has opened up the floodgates on our text message board at 78592. Texts in like this one. My wife sat on my lap and farted on me on our first date. It was love at first fart. We've been together for 6 years. We crap in front of each other all the time. It's Brooke and Jubal in the morning. I'm moving 92.5. Why are we getting texts like that? Well, because this girl named Amanda wanted to call this dude named Danny and find out why he wasn't calling her back after their date. She couldn't think of any reason why he wouldn't. Everything went great, except at the end of the night, he gave her a handshake. We called Danny, got him on the phone. Turns out that Amanda is very open with her bodily functions and even uses creative verbiage when telling you that she has to go to the bathroom. Things like on a first date, mind you, leaning over to the table going, "Hey, I'll be back. I got to go download a brown load." Just joking around with the guy about taking a number 2, and most people are not comfortable with that. I am one of those people. I've been with my girlfriend about a year and a half now. Don't even know that she does it.
She doesn't. Don't worry, Jubal. She doesn't.
Never know that. I don't even really like knowing when my friends are going to do it. I just go ahead and take care of that business
There's
yourself.
a lot of people on the text board that are cool with it, though, that they say they would go out
No,
with
that's
her.
so many people.
Yeah.
Like, where is she? I'm ready for this girl to be my wife at 78592.
You guys realize she might talk about her time of the month with the same
but she's
freedom.
funny.
Are you excited for that?
Funny.
It's
she's got
funny.
a sense of humor, and
Is that
some
a sense of
people
humor?
like that. Yeah, absolutely.
It's funny,
I can't do
like
it,
the
but
first
good for
couple
her.
times, but imagine being on her 5 years from now. You've been dating for 5 years, okay? After 5 years, nobody's attracted to each other anyway. And then you have to sit there and listen to her continue to make these jokes. You're just like, okay, it's got to stop at some point. Another text in at 78592. This chick is amazing. She's funny, open, hot enough to pick up. This guy is a total tool.
Yeah,
Another one that
I see it.
I bet she's as dirty in bed as her dirty mouth.
I
All right,
don't
but
think you want
listen.
that kind of dirty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a different kind of dirty.
It might be bad. But everybody texting in at 78592, there's not a lot of people that are ripping her for being so open about having to take a toozy in the middle of her date.
This is the second date that I've ever been scarred. Like, I will never, ever forget the term
It's definitely not the first one I've been scarred, but yeah, that's
so funny.
I still wish I was more like her. I mean, the first time I farted in front of my husband was one of the most embarrassing moments.
You
of my
told
life.
us you like eat on the toilet and keep the door open and talk to each other.
Yeah, but that's only with peeing, Lydia. Peeing is not gross.
But you still keep the door open and have chats with
You're
each other.
still sitting on the toilet eating food talking to your husband, no matter what you're
So
doing.
don't worry, you're like her.
Yeah,
You
you're pretty. You're fine.
Yeah.
You're exactly like this girl. Actually, you're probably
Closed.
worse.
Stay more closed, actually. That'd be more open.
You just wait. That is love right there, is what that is.
I don't know. I never want to be in love, then, that's for sure.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
I'm excited to talk to Aaron, the dude who wants to do a second date update today, because he accomplished something that I've never been able to accomplish, and I think a lot of guys have tried and failed at.
Uh-oh.
Aaron met a girl by putting his number on her car after he saw her get out of it and go in somewhere, and she actually called him back.
Oh my
You know how many times I've
What?
tried that, Aaron? Girls never call back. They usually just, I think, get the number and are creeped out and then throw it away, but she actually called him back. Aaron, how are you, man?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on here, guys.
Yeah, no problem. It's a pleasure to talk to you. I feel like I'm talking to some sort of celebrity because I've never known anybody that's actually gotten a call back from that. Did you write anything on the note that you left, or you just simply put your number in like, hey, I think you're hot?
No, I just put my number on the windshield. And in all fairness, this has actually never worked for me before. And It's like the first time. But this girl was really hot, and I was like, you know what? Let's just try it and see what happens.
Where did you include a headshot?
I did not.
Okay. Where were you? Where were you parked?
I was just like at a fish and chips place and like just going to get some food. And she came out of the car and gorgeous girl. And I was like, oh, I need to try something. So
that's impressive.
Amazing. I know. Yeah. I've never heard of that working before in my life. So it's very rare, Aaron. So tell us about the girl that you went out with. What's her name? Wendy?
Yeah, Wendy. She kind of looks like the dragon girl from Game of Thrones. Like
oh, nice. High five, dude. Yeah. She's hot.
Yeah. So, I mean, the nice thing is that she did actually call me back, and I said I wanted to take her out on a date, and she said okay, which was really cool.
Yeah.
She wanted to go to this French restaurant she really liked, so we went there.
Did you meet there? Was she like hesitant at all about meeting up with a total stranger?
Mm-hmm. No, we just met there, and I mean, I told her like a little bit of what I looked like, and told her what I was going to wear, so that she could like pick me out at the restaurant. But
that's daring.
No, she was really kind of cool and easygoing. I could have been a real creep. But I don't think I was.
I know. I'm surprised she actually just was like, all right, cool, let's meet up.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it went really well. I mean, we had dinner. It was a nice dinner, and then I asked her if she wanted to like go for like a drive or something, and she said sure, and so we just drove around my car for a bit and like looked at the skyline and stuff. Yeah.
Did you make it to like Makeout Point? Maybe Cary Park up.
Did you drive back to 1952 and go to Makeout Point?
At the same time?
Yeah. You guys neck?
Knock some going on.
That is very trustworthy of her to like get in your. I don't know. That's kind of crazy.
You're worried
that
about her a little bit.
Yeah, when he's like,
I am.
Yeah, you want to get in my car and go for a drive?
I mean, I was trying to be as least creepy as possible given the circumstances.
You must be a likable guy, Aaron.
But at the same time, if she's that like comfortable and willing, you must have done something really creepy to also like turn her off.
Well, the only thing that got a little weird was, I mean, at one point I asked her like, hey, like you want to come back to my place or whatever. And she said no, and I didn't like pressure her or anything like that, but she got a little quiet after that, and then it was only a couple minutes later that she was like, I think you should go home.
All right.
The implication.
So that might have been a little too much on that.
You didn't wink at her while you were saying it, did you? That could have done it. And how many times have you tried to get a hold of her?
I've called her like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
I haven't got anything back. And I guess that's why I'm calling you guys, because I don't know what's happened.
Okay, well, play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date update, okay?
That'd be awesome. Thanks.
All right, man. Hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
All right, Aaron, you ready to go with your second date update?
Yes, I am.
I think that the mistake you made was just going for too much too soon. Like, I feel like you met the girl in kind of a rare way. You put your phone number on her car. She actually called you back, and then you went out to dinner, and you made it through. But I don't think you should have gone for the car ride after dinner, and I especially don't think you should have tried to ask her back to your place. Like, I think you were almost there. You know what I mean? You just got to take, like, it's okay to lay down a bunt every once in a while and not try to hit a home run every single time. You know what I mean?
Actually, solid advice.
Maybe just a little too ambitious, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Ready to go, Aaron? We're going to call her right now.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi, can I speak to Wendy, please?
This is Wendy.
Hey, Wendy, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. I'm moving 92.5.
Sorry?
This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning, the morning show on the radio station moving 92.5. How are you?
What is this?
We're a morning radio show, and we had a guy email us and say that he left his phone number on your car one day, and you actually called him back and went out for a date, and we were just calling you to see if we could talk to you about that for a second.
Oh, God.
Was that?
That was just a terrible mistake.
Oh,
really?
That's usually
It was?
not a...
Your friends will always be like, you have to live, you have to live in the moment. Like, call a guy who leaves his number on your car. No, never again.
Don't do it. Okay. All right,
Sage
Wendy. Hey,
advice.
you know what? I like you, Wendy. You're direct and to the point. So, what didn't you like about him? What was so weird?
You know what? It was going great. Actually, surprisingly, at the restaurant and everything, we decided to go for this drive, and, we're driving around, and I think I was, talking about work, something completely unrelated. Uh-huh. And I was in the middle of something he asked me about, and all of a sudden he just interjects the middle of my sentence with, "Have you ever hooked up with a girl before?"
What?
Really?
He asked you that? That's pretty bold.
I don't know. What were you talking about specifically? What do you do for a living? It could have pertained to your job.
Whatever. He was not listening to
No,
one
it
word.
has nothing to do. No, definitely not. I mean, it was completely out of nowhere, and I just obviously was shocked. And he's like, "Yeah, I have a girl roommate, and why don't you come over? Maybe we'll just hang out and see what happens."
Stop it.
So,
What?
Wendy, he invited you back to his place to have a little menage a trois with his roommate.
Well, that's definitely what it felt like. I mean, unless he just thought I was just going to.
And he was left out.
If I had given him some indication I was in, which I definitely didn't. I mean, this is the very first time we've ever met.
That's a little much to go
Yeah.
for that. Had you guys even kissed at this point?
No. Of course, then I'm like, oh my God, I'm in this guy's car. Number two, dummy mistake. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm driving around and I kind of just tried to be cool because it's kind of scary. When you realize someone is a freak, I mean,
Now you're stuck in his
I
car.
mean, he could be a serial killer, yeah, first you hook up with my roommate, and then we eat your heart.
Hey, Wendy.
I love Wendy.
Wendy, are you sure that that's what he meant by the whole thing? I mean, I know what it sounds like, but are you sure that
I'm
that's
sorry. What do you think that means?
I don't know. It could have been
now
completely
he's
innocent.
So innocent. Jesus.
Well, why don't we ask him? Because Aaron's actually on the other line, Wendy.
Oh.
Aaron, did you ask her to come over and hook up with your roommate
Oh, God.
on your first date?
Aaron.
What I said was, maybe we could just come and hang out with my roommate, and then we can see what happens. I was just trying to get to know you. Okay?
What?
You were adventure.
So you were.
Have you ever hooked up with a girl? And I didn't hallucinate that, right?
I mean, I did ask you that. I just wanted to know if you're interested. I'm just trying to get to know you. That's how you get to know people.
Yeah, you were trying to get to know me, so you interrupted the response I was giving you to a question you asked me about my job to ask me if I ever go ahead and hit it with a gal.
No, your job is interesting and all, and we can talk about that. But we're just getting to know each other. So I thought, let's bring it up a notch. Let's talk about something that has a little more substance to it. And see, feel each other out a little bit.
Aaron, you don't have any shame at all. That's getting to know somebody for you is just diving right in like that.
Aaron.
Yeah, you should just go ahead and just be honest and just get to the meaty stuff of a conversation.
Has this worked for you in the past? Have you had a lot of threesomes in this manner?
No, I haven't, and it's not even about that. If you're not into girls or threesomes, whatever, I don't care. That's fine. I just wanted to get to know you and see where the boundaries lie and kind of get to know who you are.
Where the boundaries
Aaron, you don't think that's maybe one of those sensitive topics like religion and politics and I don't know, threesomes?
I'm okay to talk about religion and politics too. It's not as exciting as threesomes, but we can talk about
My
that too.
gosh.
Okay, well, I actually really would care to know about religion and politics because that's the kind of thing I like to know about a person. Tells me a little bit about a person before I would go ahead and jump in bed with them and their roommate, for instance.
Oh, awesome. And then let's talk about religion and politics all you want, and then we can talk about other stuff later if you want to.
Oh my gosh. Wendy,
Actually, I'm definitely not interesed in that anymore, so.
Oh.
Cool. But now I know that, and now we can move past that. Now
Now that we've got that all out of the way, Wendy, would you like to go on a second date with Aaron? We will pay for it. Now that you guys you know each other, you got all the weird, there's always that weird tension of, hey, does she hook up with girls when you go out with a girl? Now that we know, would you want to go out with Aaron again? We will pay for it.
Absolutely not. Thank you so much for that generous offer of potential danger. No, I'm not interested in that.
All right. Well, Aaron, unfortunately, you didn't get a second date, man. Sorry.
I guess I just pushed it too far, huh? Just trying to get to know people.
I guess.
It's kind of strange, I know, but
you shoved it over a canyon and it pummeled 5,000 feet down to the earth.
try to find a stranger. Like there's clubs. I mean, like, people put out classifieds.
Yeah.
You don't just ask a stranger.
Hey, Wendy?
Yeah.
We never did get an answer. Have you hooked up with a girl?
You'll never know.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Saying all I want from you is to
Second date update.
We recently got an email for a second date update from a guy named Joe.
Cool.
Joe knows that his romantic encounter didn't go perfectly.
Okay.
He also knows who's to blame for that.
All right.
He's blaming it on a baby.
What? That is not. I thought we would be self-aware here.
Now,
Can you
Joe,
blame anything on a baby?
I get it, dude. I can't tell you how many emails we get from listeners whose dates have been brought down by a rogue baby.
It's a rogue baby now. Like a baby that just came out of nowhere.
So many rogue babies out there trying to ruin love. So what's going on, Joe? You want to fight this baby or what?
The baby ruined my chances, I think, with this girl I met.
Wait. Hold on. Was it her baby?
Well, hold on. We'll get to the selfish baby in just a second.
Why
But
am I
first, tell us about the girl that you want us to call. What's her name?
Her name is Tara.
Okay, and how'd you meet her?
It's kind of a funny story how we met, actually.
It usually never is. So,
She's right.
I met her at a bowling alley.
a bowling alley? Okay,
Yeah.
Jeff.
Good one,
yeah,
man.
Not fun.
That
Loved
is
it.
some sarcastic humor right
okay.
there. Sarcastic laughter.
All right.
Sorry, go
Sorry.
ahead, man.
I'm in a bowling league for a long time with my buddies, and we get together every week. Good fun, laughing and joking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And my buddy Murphy, we call him Murph.
Of course, Murphy's in a bowling league. Yeah.
Yeah, Murphy's a riot. He was telling me a joke while I'm waiting for the ball to come back and the ball return. And all of a sudden, I was distracted for a minute. The ball came back really hard and smashed my fingers right up against the side of the return.
Oh my God, I can feel that.
I can picture
Oh
it too.
my God.
That's the
I
worst.
just grabbed my own hand.
Yeah.
And my
me too.
pinky got bent a little. It just was starting to swell up.
Wow. I can imagine.
Yeah.
Your entire career of bowling flashing before your eyes.
So where does Tara come into the picture?
So I had to tell Murph and the guys that I couldn't bowl anymore and I had to get some ice.
Yeah.
All right.
So there was a long line at the bar, and there was this lady in front of me, and I needed to get ice really bad, so I asked her if she wouldn't mind if I could get in front of her.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's totally reasonable that you would cut to the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was just really cool. We were just talking for a while after I got my ice and getting to know each other.
Yeah, you always got to reel them in with a little injury.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for
Yeah, women love a guy that's in pain a little
you.
bit.
And then they're like, let me take care of you.
That's right. I like what you did there, Joe.
Smart.
Very smooth.
She seemed very nurturing.
Yeah. Did you ask her out, or was this your guys' like date hangout?
Well, I couldn't go back to bowling, and,
Right.
I was getting a little hungry, so I said, hey, Tara, why don't we grab a burger right here at the diner inside the bowling alley?
Wow,
Yeah.
Tara, look at that. We're both in a restaurant together.
I can't hold the burger, so
Yeah.
maybe you could feed it to me
Ooh.
because my hand is in so much pain.
You lick my pinky?
That would have been a great idea. I mean, I didn't even think of that.
So what did you guys do? Just ate together?
Yeah, we went into the diner. We sat at a booth, ate together, joking around with one another.
It was going well, is what it sounds like. When did it go wrong?
Well, this is where the baby comes in, right?
Yeah, the baby.
Rogue baby.
Yeah, there's this cute little adorable baby in the next booth making faces at me as we're eating. And I don't have kids, but I love kids. So I started making these silly little faces, sticking my tongue out at the baby.
Yeah, that's adorable.
Yeah, I thought it was.
What did Tara think?
She wasn't doing the same thing I was doing. She wasn't making funny faces. Maybe she didn't speak baby talk. I don't know.
No, that's the problem. Translation issue with the baby.
Yeah.
She's not bilingual.
I mean, that doesn't sound like it would ruin anything, though. I don't understand why that's so bad.
Yeah, but I did encourage her to interact with the baby, but she said no chance.
Yeah.
And
And that's a little bit strange there, Joe.
She's like,
It's a little awkward, but
hey, your turn.
like most women that I know, when a guy is interacting with a baby, your immediate thought is, oh, he has nurturing instincts,
Or
right?
in my case, I'm like, weirdo.
Well, maybe that's what she thought. Maybe it was more like Jose.
Yeah, too nice.
I mean, who can't, at least smile or acknowledge a cute little baby that's like a foot away from you?
Yeah, but sometimes guys like you and I, like I was trying to say, get too excited, and then it gets into,
Yeah,
okay.
that's true. I do kind of go overboard sometimes, and I almost ask the people there if they would let me play with the baby, but I didn't have that. But
Okay, good. That's not even I do
So
that, bro.
creepy. A random
Yeah.
dude in a bowling alley gonna play with your baby.
Can I borrow that human real quick?
It
Thanks.
sounds like you did one thing right by not asking that. So how did this all end?
Well, at this point, I went back to my buddies at our lane, and then she went back to her friends at her lane. We were like 3 or 4 lanes apart.
Ooh, that could be good or really awkward.
Yeah.
I waved to her once, and then she was getting ready to leave with her friends before we were leaving. So I quickly went over to her and said, "Hey, Tara, I enjoyed talking to you, and maybe we could exchange numbers and meet up sometime." Yeah. So we did. We exchanged phone numbers. So I thought at that it was a nice ending to a funny little awkward story of how I met her.
Your pinky got you a number, dude.
All right.
How weird, but
It's
I
the
get
tiniest little wingman ever.
So you've reached out to her since then?
Yes.
Okay.
And nothing.
That's weird. Why would she give you her number?
And it's really her number?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's her voice on the voicemail.
Okay, that's the
good.
big indicator that is her number.
All right. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to play a song, come back, call Tara for you, and try and get you a second date update. All right, Joe?
Sounds great.
Second date update.
If you're just tuning in for today's second date update, we're on the phone with a man named Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe loves doing 3 things in this world.
What?
Throwing strikes,
Yeah.
eating burgers,
And?
and making babies.
Oh, what?
Giggle.
Yeah.
Okay.
He
There it
makes
is.
them giggle.
I was like, you
That
didn't
is
say that.
that is a hard man.
Yeah, he recently met a woman named Tara at the bowling alley after he hurt his finger in the ball return. They ended up sitting down in the diner there, eating together, but Joe got distracted by a cute baby in the booth next to them. After that, he was able to get her number, Tara's number, not the baby's, but now Tara is not calling Joe back.
Oh, man.
That's the most manly thing when you're like, yeah, he likes to do this, and then he got distracted by a baby.
Yeah, Jose understands that,
I
Joe,
get
just
it,
so you
dude.
know.
I get it.
Yeah. I mean, if you could talk to her and find out, if I ruined my chances of going out with her because of that darn baby, I'm going to be upset.
So here's my question that I didn't ever ask, because I know when Jose tries to entertain my children, they run in fear,
Yeah,
right?
I'm
They
too
usually cry.
Yeah.
Was the baby into you?
Yeah, the baby was like making like goo goo gaga sounds. I was playing peekaboo with the baby.
Okay.
Oh, okay, that's
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if I could have asked the people that the baby was with, if I could have played with the baby on my lap, I would have.
All right.
Actually really cute.
Well,
I'd love to have a baby on my lap.
you know what, Joe? If we can't get you a date with Tara out of this, maybe we can get you a play date with the baby.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
I think that's illegal somehow.
It's called babysitting. It's fine.
Yeah.
They don't know him.
Well, we'll focus on Tara for now, okay? We're going to dial her number here. You ready?
Yeah, I'm nervous. I hope she picks up.
I hope so, too. We'll find out. Here we go. I'm going to dial her right now.
Hello,
Hi, can I speak to Tara, please?
who's this?
Hi, Tara. My name's Jeffrey. I work on the radio. I was wondering if you had a few minutes to talk.
Okay,
Is that okay with you?
what's this about?
Well, we do something on our show called a second date update. That's where if you go out with somebody and afterwards they're not calling you back, you can reach out to us and we'll give them a call and try and figure out the reason why.
Yeah.
And the person that reached out to us about you, his name is Joe.
Oh, Joe. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You met him at the bowling alley.
He had that
Yes, and then at the bowling alley.
career-ending pinky injury.
Yeah, he had an epic pinky injury.
Oh, epic.
I don't think those words have ever been put
An
together.
epic pinky injury.
Injury for the ages.
He told us a lot about your night together, and he had a lot of positive things to say. He said that you were very kind and very nurturing.
Mm-hmm.
He also mentioned that you guys went into the diner and sat down for a bite to eat.
We did.
I love that diner.
Ooh, good. Did you have a good time?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, look, he's a good guy. He's kind of cute. I enjoyed the time I had with him at the diner.
Okay. He also told us about the baby that selfishly butted in.
Yeah, that was the most strange interaction I've ever seen.
Whoa,
The most strange?
The thing was that the baby's whole face was covered in snot, and it was just gross. They get those bubbles out their nose, and he was breathing heavy, and and the parents didn't seem to care. Just eating a chili cheese fries, not paying this kid any attention.
Wait,
and then Joe was just hanging out with a baby.
So it was really weird because the kid was covered in snot?
To make it even more bizarre, the family of the baby changed the baby at the table. And he just kept playing with it. As the baby's being changed, he was just playing with the baby. And I kept saying to Joe, stop it, stop looking at the baby. And he's like, don't worry, the baby likes it. He likes being changed.
Okay.
So wait.
So it's not so much that he was playing with a baby, it's that he was playing with a dirty baby. That's what bothered you the most.
Dirty baby, gross.
So that's the reason you're not calling him back?
I mean, he seems like a good person. He definitely comes from a good place. He has a good heart. I could tell that about him, but
Well, I know Joe would really like to talk with you about this because he's been on the other line listening, and he's heard everything that you said.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Hi, Tara.
Oh.
That's
Hi.
Joe.
Oh, my gosh. I had no idea that you were on the other line listening this whole entire time.
Yeah, I've heard everything, and so you don't like babies, huh?
What?
What? No, it's not that I don't like babies. I don't like dirty babies and people playing with dirty babies. No awareness.
That sounded bad.
I was making funny faces at the dirty baby. It's not like a baby was in my lap.
I think we should stop calling it a dirty baby.
Please, it sounds terrible.
It's kind of funny, though. I'm sorry.
Rogue baby was better.
Yeah.
I've had 2 dirty babies. It's fine.
Sarah, you said that I have no awareness, but I saw the baby was covered in snot and that the baby needed to be changed. That's not my fault. That's the parents not taking care of the baby. You can't blame me for that.
I know it wasn't your fault, but it was just very unnerving.
I mean, is that the only thing, Sarah? Is this all about the baby?
Well, there was kind of something else.
What?
What?
Well, okay, so you asked for my number, and I was kind of on the fence about giving it to you. I was thinking, well, okay, maybe we could hang out. But then when we were back at our lanes, one of your buddies, I think his name was Murph or something or other, he was talking to one of my friends, and he said some very incriminating information about you.
Oh.
How is this just...
What did he say, Murph?
He's bragging about how you're always banging the chicks from the alley and that, that's what you do. You're always on the prowl, and you're always finding alley chicks.
Alley chicks? Is that what you call them in a bowling alley?
Dude, Joe.
That's not true. I don't call him that. That's not true, Tara.
Joe.
Oh, my gosh.
You sleeping with gutter girls?
Can't they be ball babes or something instead?
You sleep with the Ballbusters team?
Yeah.
No, listen, okay, look, if I'm being completely honest with you right now, I mean, maybe I slept with seven women that I met at the bowling alley.
Why so specific right now, Joe? Why would you do that?
It's definitely 7.
I don't know that we needed to say that.
And when I think of the type of women that normally go to the bowling alleys, it's not like the young, cute girls. It's usually the senior citizens that are on the bowling squads.
Hey, don't be judgy, Jeffrey.
There's nothing wrong. If he wants to be with, Mildred and Edna and Bernadette, that's totally his prerogative.
Oh, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of young action going on at the bowling alley. A lot of hot young action.
Oh.
Hot young action.
Well, I guess
bowling more often.
You and Murph know.
Wait. Excuse me, you're saying that there is hot young action? So you're 110% saying that what Murph told my friend is true.
Well, I didn't sleep with all of them. I mean, we did a lot of other stuff.
What? What?
Second and third base stuff. I wasn't really including that.
Joe,
stop!
You don't have to go into details, man.
You are digging your own grave right now. What are you doing?
I mean, actually, there's a spot behind the video games where if you are in a certain angle, no one will see you for hours.
What? Gross! You're doing it there? No, been telling her how great she is and why she's different than all the other gutter girls or whatever you call them.
Look, I mean, I'm just being completely honest with you and just get everything out in the open. I mean, this is me. This is the real deal.
Oh, wow. Well, I am so glad because it was just, Dirty Baby was one thing, but now gutter girls and alley cats, I'm not interested in that kind of behavior.
Hold on, Tara. Before you go jump into conclusions here, we would love to pay for a second date for you and Joe.
I'm not interested. I don't even like bowling that much. It was like my friend's birthday. So I'm going to say no and stop this right where it is.
Well, I'm sorry, Joe.
Yeah, you were honest.
Tara's not interested.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I don't care. I'm sure there will be another one next week. Now, do some stuff with them behind the video games. I don't care.
Oh, my God.
Gladys is going to love that.
Real classy, Joe.
Oh, my God.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
I can't believe that we're doing this.
Okay.
I'm actually shocked.
Really?
That actually takes a lot, so I'm scared.
I can't believe the email that we got in to do a second date update today.
Whoa.
Over the last couple weeks on the show, we've had a couple of crazy exchanges with a woman who claimed that she wasn't lying to her husband when she didn't tell him about going out with her ex-boyfriend.
Oh, don't tell me the saga's continuing.
Yes, she's back on the phone with us today.
She hates us. She yells at us every time we talk to her.
You would think that she hates us, but apparently she wants to clear the air. Hello, Alicia.
Why do you have to be such a
How are we already
I'm not-
starting like this, Alicia?
Alicia, hold on. I need to refresh everybody's memory with what happened, okay? You first came on the show because an ex-boyfriend came back into your life and asked you out to dinner, and you weren't sure if you should tell your husband or not that you agreed to go out with him. He wanted to take you to...
No, I wasn't going to tell my husband, and
Right.
it wasn't a big deal
Okay.
until you guys made it a big deal.
Right. So you came on the show, asked us for our advice, and then your husband heard that on the show and then emailed us so that he could call you in an awkward Tuesday phone call. He got you on the phone, and then this happened.
I never should have called you guys in the first place. Never.
You know what, Alicia, you're actually right. Well, you never should have lied to your husband in the first place.
Yeah,
and then none of these phone calls...
Oh
Well,
my God.
So, Alicia, after being on the show, yelling at us twice, saying that we were horrible people, and then hanging up on us both times, why are you back on the show today?
Because after all the bullshit you guys put on the radio, and I don't know how you did all this editing to make me sound like a jerk, my friends and family are like, you're kind of a bad person. And I'm not a bad person. I'm calling to freaking set the record straight.
Alicia, you remember that you actually went out with your ex-boyfriend, lied to your husband, told him that you were going to see your girlfriends, and then...
I didn't lie. I just didn't tell him because I didn't want him to get upset. How many times do I have to tell you this?
So you're just you're angry with us, and you want to come back on the show and just yell at us some more? Is that what's going on?
Well, I want to set the record straight. I want you to call the guy that I went out with, Brad, and because now my husband thinks something else happened. Because all of the crap that you put on the radio and you made me come off bad in your editing, now my husband is questioning whether or not I hooked up with this guy, which I absolutely did not. And I want you to talk to Brad.
Okay, Alicia, we didn't edit those like crazy to make you sound, bad.
Whatever. I don't know. Look, I just know what reality TV does to people, and I'm pretty certain you do the same
All right.
thing.
So you want to do a second date update with the guy that you went out with?
No, see, this is why you're a No, I'm not doing a second date update. It wasn't a date.
Okay, but the segment that we're doing right now is called a second date update.
Then I want to be on a different segment.
No, well, this is where we can fit you on. Do you want to clear the air or not?
I want to clear the air, but it wasn't a friggin' date.
Okay.
Yeah, but remember, Alicia, you told us that your ex actually hit on you at the restaurant.
Yeah, maybe it was a date to him, but it wasn't a date to me.
Okay, so then we'll do it in a second date update. You get your point out no matter what.
This is just whatever.
Alicia, you'll get your point out no matter what, all right? So what do you want to do then? You want to call this guy, and what are you hoping to get out of it?
I'm not the bad person here.
Okay.
He's the one that was suggestive. He's the one that contacted me to begin with.
And I'm the one that left when he started getting weirdly flirty. I need that to come out so everybody knows that I didn't freaking sleep with him.
Okay, so you want to just prove that you didn't do anything wrong while you're out with this guy, and you want everybody to hear it, everybody who's already judged you from hearing you on the air, your family, your husband, all that.
Right. I'm innocent. This guy is to blame. Okay,
But do you think
I am an innocent party?
Do you think that people are judging you because they think that you hooked up with your ex, or do you think that they're judging you because you weren't honest in your relationship and refused to take?
You guys made it seem like I wasn't honest. You guys made it seem like I was a liar. Okay, like what I said was taken out of context, and I don't know how you edited it to make me sound like an ass. But I'm not an ass.
But didn't you, like, to your husband's face, tell him that you were not going out with your ex, that you were going out with girlfriends? Wasn't that actually the case?
I didn't lie. I just didn't tell him. Okay. That's completely different.
So, in a second, we're going to play a song and then come back and call this dude that you went out with. We're going to call him. I want to talk to him a little bit and hear it from him that he hit on you and your side of the story is true, and then you can talk to him, okay?
I don't need to talk to him. I just need you to prove that I'm a good person.
Okay, I'll help prove that you're a good person and clear the air with everybody involved, everybody that you want to clear the air with, okay?
It's about time you did something right. Thank you.
Can you just not call me an ass for a second?
You really make it hard.
She does have a point.
All right.
I mean, that was the one thing I'll back her on.
Okay, I'm going to play a song. We'll come back, and then we'll call Brad is his name, right?
I f***ing said his name 57 times. God. Have you listened to the word I said?
Like, I'm sorry. I realize that you're angry with the show because you feel like we made you look bad.
No, I don't feel like that. I know you made me look bad.
All right, well, we made you look bad, so we'll play a song, come back, and then we'll get your second date update, okay?
It's not a second date.
I realize that, but the segment's called that, so I have to say that.
Just do it!
Okay, we'll do it next.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
You know what part of today's second date update that I'm looking most forward to? At the end of it, when I get to ask them if they'll go out on a second date.
That's so messed up,
Very,
dude.
very excited about that.
Now you're just trying to push her buttons.
Alicia, are you there?
The more I think about this, I don't want to even do this phone call because you know what? You're going to make a big joke out of this.
I'm kidding.
Serious.
I'm just joking with you, Alicia. I'm going to let you.
Exactly. It's not funny.
All right. We're about to call your ex-boyfriend, Brad. If you're just tuning into the second date update, Alicia's on the phone with us. She's been on the show a few times before. All of those ended up with her being very, very angry with us. She's still angry with us, but
I can't imagine why.
she wants to come on the show and clear the air. She first came on because she was having an issue about going on a date with an ex-boyfriend, and she didn't want to tell.
No.
Well,
what
going
mistake?
going out to meet up with her ex-boyfriend and not telling her husband about it. And then her husband heard her talking about it on the show and did an Awkward Tuesday phone call where he says, "Hey, I knew that you went out with your ex-boyfriend. You lied to me." And then Alicia got very upset because she was being accused of being a liar. That's accurate enough, right, Alicia?
Yes.
Okay.
For what? You got something right.
And now Alicia wants to call her ex-boyfriend, and I'll let you explain it, Alicia, because every time I do, you get angry with me. You want to call your ex-boyfriend because why?
Because my friends and family think I'm a liar, and now my husband thinks I hooked up with him, which I absolutely did not, and now you idiots have made a mountain out of a molehill, and I wanted to clear it up.
All right.
So have you talked to your ex since you guys went out?
No, I absolutely did not talk to him. I don't want to talk to him. He's a creepy pervert.
Okay. Alicia, I'm on your side here. I know you don't think I am, but I am on your side.
I don't believe that for 1 second, but thank you.
No, I am,
think he
Alicia.
is.
I am on
Yeah.
your side. If you feel like we wronged you and made you look bad, I'm all for you clearing things up with your husband and everybody else who thinks that you're a liar. I really am.
Great. So I expect you not to make me look like an ass in this call.
I won't. I'm going to talk to your ex-boyfriend and hopefully get him to say that he hit on you and you behaved perfectly.
Hopefully. That's the only thing he can say. That's the truth.
Okay, well, he'll say
gosh.
that, and then you can come on and talk to him.
I don't want to talk to him. I have no
All right.
desire
Okay.
to talk to him.
Okay, you don't need to talk to him then. I'll talk to him, and then hopefully we'll be cool.
I don't think we'll ever be cool, but fine.
Okay. I'm going to call him right now then, all right?
Let's settle this.
All right, fine, okay, all right.
How are
I just want to. I just want to. I just want to like make things okay with this. You know.
You're not making anything okay.
All right.
Hello.
Hey, can I speak to Brad, please?
Yeah, this is Brad.
Hey, Brad, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
I'm sorry, who?
Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning, the radio show.
Okay. Can I help you with something?
Yeah, you can, actually. We recently got an email about you from one of our listeners. It's an old friend of yours, and you guys recently went out to dinner.
All right. Is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's pretty okay. The reason I'm calling you, though, is because I want to help clear the air about something.
I'm sorry. I'm not really clear on what's going on here.
Well, it's about your ex-girlfriend, Alicia.
What does she want?
Well, we recently had her on the show, and she talked about how you guys went out to dinner.
She did?
Yeah. She was having kind of an issue because, she's married and stuff.
Well, yeah, I know she's married. Look, there's nothing. Don't worry about that, man. It's all good.
Yeah.
We're just friends.
But the reason I'm calling you is because we were telling her it sounded like a date, and it kind of caused a little bit of drama with her. So I told her that I'd get you on the phone and just sort of find out if everything was kosher when you guys went out.
I don't know what to say. We just met up. It wasn't like a big thing. It was just like old friends. Yeah, we dated a long time ago, but it was just good to see her again. It wasn't anything more than that.
So everything was cool? Nothing weird? Yeah. Nothing at all? Because I'll tell you this. She said that you hit on her.
She said that I hit on her?
Yeah, she said that she showed up to dinner and you guys were having dinner and then you started making inappropriate comments.
Okay.
And then she said she left after that.
That didn't happen. I didn't make any inappropriate comments. I mean, we were talking back and forth, but we ended dinner just as any, normal people would end dinner, and we both went our separate ways.
And you guys didn't hit on her at all?
No, look, I didn't hit on her. I might have flirted a little bit, but I mean, we were both kind of flirting with each other. I mean, we're exes. It was just kind of a casual thing, but, if anything, she was flirting way more than I was.
Are
Really?
you kidding me? This is bull. That is such bull, Brad.
Wait, what's going on?
Oh, that's Alicia. She's actually on the other line listening.
It's hard to miss her.
Tell them how you said you wanted to take that stupid dress off.
Is this some kind of setup or something?
No, this is real life. My freaking family thinks I slept with you or something, and I need to prove to them that you're just an idiot, and I made a huge mistake by going out with you.
Oh my God. Okay, wait a second. You're the one that agreed to go on a date with me.
I didn't agree to go on a date with you. I agreed to go to dinner and catch up as old friends. I thought it was going to be completely innocent. I didn't know you were going to be a big pervert.
Well, pervert, I don't think that innocent is wearing that little dress that you wore to dinner.
Whoa. Dress that you asked me to wear. The dress that you said, I love that dress. You should totally wear it again.
Well, of course I love that dress. Your boobs were hanging out of it.
Oh, my gosh.
Why do you think I asked you to wear it?
You're so gross. You know that I had no intention.
I'm gross. You didn't have to come out with me, Alicia. You're married. It was your choice to come out after we talked about it. I asked you to go to our first date spot together. I think it was pretty obvious what we were doing.
Can you just hang up on him? He is obviously just talking in circles.
No, I don't think we should hang.
To hang up with me, Alicia.
I don't think we should hang up on him, Alicia. I think this is a very interesting conversation.
This is bull. You guys can't do this to me again.
Do what? We're not doing anything. He's the.
You're painting me in a bad light again.
How are we putting you in a bad light? He's just saying that what he was asking you on was a date.
Did you call him before you got me on the phone and coach him to say?
No. Alicia, why would we coach him to say that?
Because that's how this crap works.
Alicia, honestly, listening to your guys' conversation has actually gotten me on your side. It sounds like you were literally just that stupid and naive and had no idea.
Okay, I'm stupid, please. Okay? You're looking in the mirror, honey.
I mean, I'm trying to side with you here. I don't get why Brad would ask you.
I don't need your sympathy.
Alicia, don't come off like you're naive. We knew what we were getting into. I mean, that entire dinner, you were giving off the vibe that you wanted to hook up.
Oh, what?
Not with you, I wasn't.
Brad, what did she say to give you the vibe that she wanted to hook up?
She told me that, I looked great, that she was, super excited to see me.
Brad, that all sounds pretty normal.
Yeah,
it does, actually.
Yeah, I would say that stuff to my grandmother. Oh, my God, you look great. How are you?
No, that's not how it was at all. You grabbed my arm, and you were basically stroking my arm, telling me how great I looked and how much I've been working out.
We haven't even seen each other in over 2 years. Yeah, it was nice to see you. I gave you a hug and I put my hand on your arm. Really? Did that mean I was taking off my panties? I don't think so.
No, I'm not saying you were throwing yourself at me, but I'm just saying, we were talking.
But that's
and
what you're insinuating. That's what you were insinuating. That I was ready to jump in the sack with you.
You were. You were.
Guys, hang up on this ass, please.
No.
Oh, my God.
Here, all right, Alicia, here. Brad clearly thought you were hitting on him, but Brad, bottom line, nothing happened when you guys went out.
Nothing happened, but she wanted to hook up.
There's no way in hell I would have ever hooked up with you.
All right.
I think she's pretty clear.
This is pretty classic, Alicia. Just to freak the out.
Really?
Really?
Oh, this is like a pattern here.
Oh, yeah. This is why we broke up
Don't
2
act
years
like
ago.
you know me inside and out, okay? We barely have spoken in years.
Well, first of all, I do know you inside and out, if that's where you want to go. But second of all,
Whoa.
you're the one that's freaking out. It was just a dinner, and now you're on the radio talking about
Exactly. It was
like
just
a small
a dinner,
thing.
but now you're insinuating that it was something more.
Yeah, but Alicia, we learned that nothing happened between you guys. So you got your mission accomplished.
It doesn't matter what the you think. I did this so my friends and family would think I wasn't lying, and now he's making it seem like I'm a hussy.
I'm pretty sure your friends and family already had a pretty strong opinion before we went out on another dinner.
Hey, at this
Too
point,
much, Brad.
I
That
would
is
love
too
to
much.
ask you guys if you'll go on a second date. Brad, would you like to?
Jubal.
Brad, would you like to go out with?
Absolutely not.
No,
Absolutely not.
no's everywhere. Thank you, Brad. Thank you for being honest with us, Brad. I appreciate it.
Yeah, whatever.
Alicia, are you still there? No.
No,
All right. Gone again. Well, hey, I look forward to, I don't know, she's going to show up in another segment,
She's your new best
trying
friend.
to clear the air somewhere else. Hey, you know what? Maybe she'd be a good phone tap.
No.
Oh, yeah.
She'd be pissed right away. I know that.
Her reaction
That's a good
would be
idea.
classic.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Text in at 78592 that says the only reason Alicia is all riled up is because of what you guys did to her.
What?
Leave her alone. Brooke and Jubal in the morning. If you missed the second date update today, Alicia was in it. If you don't know who Alicia is, well, she's
Yeah.
been on the show 3 times now. It started when she wanted some advice, sort of. Her friends basically pressured her to call into the show and ask us if she should tell her husband that she was going out with her ex-boyfriend. She's been married for 2.5 years, hasn't talked to the dude in forever. Their first date spot was where the guy set up dinner for them to meet. He even asked her to wear a dress that she wore when they used to date.
Yeah.
And she did all that and didn't tell her husband about it. Then her husband heard that and wanted to call her in an awkward Tuesday phone call.
Man.
He did that. She lied to his face, went out with the dude, and then she says that we edited it and made her look bad. It's really hard to edit her just yelling at us and calling us a-holes. We didn't do that. That was her voice. There's no way for us to edit it that way. And she just did a second date update with the guy she went out with to prove that she wasn't a liar and she didn't hook up with him because now her husband was skeptical. And she just basically yelled at us and hung up on us again.
She
And
just like
Alicia's my new favorite
She
person.
doesn't get what she wants. She just freaks out. Like that's it.
Well, she just wants validation that she's right. That's the only thing
I think
that woman
I think
wants.
she got
but,
it. I think she got it. It will be online shortly on the website, movie925.com. Remember, if you want to do a second date update, all you have to do is email the show. We'll call the person who didn't call you back. And you're just 4.5 minutes away from winning $1,000 for $1,000 Thanksgiving.
Moving 92.5.